Hi, I'm Richard Ward and welcome to my salon in the heart of London's Chelsea. Over the years I've cut many celebrities' hair, styled royalties' hair, and for this exclusive series I'm going to be inviting you into my salon to learn some of my salon secrets. Coming up, I'm going to be showing you how to create my Chelsea blow dry, made famous of course by the Duchess of Cambridge. Some of you may or may not know that me and my team were responsible for doing the Duchess of Cambridge's hair on her wedding day. Well, the Chelsea blow dry is a name that the press gave to the Duchess of Cambridge, or the then Kate Middleton, on how she achieves her beautiful, luscious, gorgeous, expensive looking hair. And on the back of that, they called it the Chelsea blow dry. But this can be applied to any hair. When you see customers come out of my Chelsea salon, they all have a certain look about them and they've got beautifully finished hair, whether it's long, short, or mid-length hair. It needs to look expensive, aspirational, gorgeous, and beautiful, whatever the length of hair. So there is a way to achieve the best gloss you possibly can on hair, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And it's all about how you prep the hair before you start blow drying. So first of all, we want to get some root lift into the hair, and we also want to get some hold into the hair. So you wash the hair, have the hair about 80% wet. Don't rough dry your hair too much. So this is ultimately, I know not everybody has the time in the mornings to blow dry their hair 80% wet, but this is assuming that you've got some time, you've got something really special to go to, and you want your hair to look the best it possibly can. Now you can see I'm spraying this root lift spray. You can buy any root lift spray in Boots. I have one in Waitrose. It's called Root Boost in every Waitrose store, but it doesn't have to be mine. Any kind of root lifting spray, but you can see that I'm lifting up the hair and I'm spraying into the roots, because that is where we want some volume, and then we want some hold. If you can't do it like me, a very, very easy way to do it is to put your head upside down and spray in between, so picking out parts of your hair and spraying in between. That is quite a quick way of doing it. So now I've put quite a lot of spray on, quite a lot of the root boosting spray, but how do we get that glossy finish? So the secret is to use, I will say, the most expensive argan oil you can afford, or a serum of some kind, and just run that through the mid-length to the ends, because that is what's going to give you the glossy finish. And I always say just a couple of drops in your hand. Don't put too much in. So maybe just like a quarter of a fingernail to start with, and rub it in like a hand cream so you almost get rid of it, and then work it through your hair. A mistake a lot of people make when they get into a mess with oil is they put too much in their hands, they don't get rid of it, and then they put, so there's a big glob on one side and then it's all greasy and nasty. So less is more. Just one pump, rub it in like a hand cream, then another pump, and then another one. If you want to put your head upside down and do it that way, you can. So the hair now is perfectly prepped. You can actually, it's quite a good idea to brush the whole thing through. Very often people get in a muddle with using products because they don't know how to use them properly. But if you use that as a rule of thumb, how I've shown you to use any root boosting spray or any oil, that is the way to go. And I would say less is more. So now we're perfectly prepped. So I'll section the hair off. Now the Chelsea blow dry is, it's a wavy curl, and it's beautifully silky smooth. So it's a curl, but it's still smooth. I always say the most important thing is to use a nozzle on the end of your dryer, because that concentrates the heat. And if you imagine, if we're trying to get hair to shine, hair is like, when it's wet, it's like fish's scales, or it's like tiles on a roof, and they're all over the place when the hair is wet. What we've got to do is to get the cuticles in the hair to all lie flat like a roof tile. And if we can do that, that is what makes the hair shine. What helps you do that is using a nozzle on the end of your dryer. And I always say, use the most expensive dryer you can afford, because it does make a difference. So first, the nozzle, always use the nozzle. So quite a lot of tension on the hair. Now you might think, well, I can cut corners and I will put a hot tong on the hair and that will achieve that Chelsea blow dry, or I'll put straighteners on it. Nothing works as well as doing your hair from wet. So if you want the best results you possibly can in shiny, gorgeous, clean, bouncy hair, you have to do it with freshly washed hair. So, the red roller about that size. I always say, if in doubt, now if you've got hair the length of D's here, I would use a Velcro roller, probably the size of these red ones. If you had smaller ones, that's fine, because the hair will always drop. The danger is using a roller that's too big. What we're wanting smooth hair from here, and we're wanting a wave and a bounce on the ends. So if I come round to the other side, if you notice I'm taking sections, probably about a couple of inches wide. And I'm getting quite a lot of tension in the hair. I'm really pulling the hair. Got to pull it. Now you might be looking at this hairbrush that I'm using. And this is a very, very important point. To get tension on the hair, your thumb needs to be able to touch the brush. So I only ever work with real bristle brushes, because they also help to flatten the cuticle and defrizz the hair. It's all about taking frizz out of the hair. So if you have one of those metal brushes at home, it's going to be much harder for you to achieve that Chelsea blow dry, that beautiful finish. So I'll do one more section, just to show you. So you can see here, you can see the tension that I've got on the hair. I can show you from this side. A lot of tension on the hair. The nozzle is flattening those hair cuticles. It's making them lie down. It's concentrating the heat, making them lie flat. That is making the hair shine. This is what is giving good quality hair. It's still a bit damp, I'll show you. You do need to have a couple of good clips as well to clip your sections away. There. That is good, beautiful, quality, shiny, glamorous, aspirational waves. So we put them in a roller, so the hair can then cool down, because we've changed the structure of the hair when the hair's wet. So when we dry it, we're changing those molecules in the hair, those cuticles, and we're forcing them to do another thing. So where the hair was straight, we're now forcing them to sit in a wave, which is what, when they cool down, that's what sets it and changes the structure of the hair. You notice, if you're using the Velcro rollers, which I do think are the best ones to use, you need to secure each roller with a clip. Again, you can buy these from Boots or Superdrug. Just secure it tightly with a clip. The roller needs to be really tight in the hair. It doesn't want to be hanging and falling around. You need the hair very, very tight in the rollers. So once all the rollers are in place, I always like to just put a light film of hairspray, just a light hairspray, nothing too heavy, just to set the curls in place. And I would say just leave it if you can. The longer you leave it, the better it is. So if you've got something to do at home, if you've got something else to do, I know in some parts of the country people actually go shopping with their rollers in. They do that for a reason, so the curl is nice and solid and stays extra long. So leave them in for as long as you can to cool down. You can see how when I take the rollers out, I'm not brushing the hair at all. I'm twisting the curl. So letting it just set and twisting it as each roller I take out. Just twisting it around. So making sure it's all nice and smooth. That's the key. And just finally, the last roller in the front. Which way do you tend to like to wear it? The other way? Okay. So, just if you gently turn your hairdryer on, what we need to do is to make all the hairline as frizz-free as possible. We do that by, again, using the nozzle and on a low speed and a high heat, and just pushing the hair off of the hairline. It's making it all nice and neat. And we're trying to limit the amount of frizz on the roots. So it's all about tension again in the hair. So a little bit of spray, as you can see, that I use. So a little bit of spray here. That also gives it, when the hair falls forward, when you pushed it back like that, when the hair falls forward, gives it lots of nice volume at the sides. And the most important part of the Chelsea blow dry is you don't brush your hair through. So you gently pop your head upside down. And again, a little bit of air. So I'm putting lots of volume into the roots. And I'm going to gently shake the curls out, because the way I took the rollers out and twisted it around has made sure that each curl is individually set in a very smooth fashion, which is why you don't need to brush the hair out. I'm slightly scrunching the ends with my hands. Making sure it's all dry. I'm not waving it around, I'm not spraying it all over the place. It's all very controlled, which is all designed to limit the frizz in the hair. If we don't have frizz in the hair, we end up with shiny, gorgeous, glamorous, bouncy, frizz-free hair. And one trick when your head is upside down, just with a light hairspray, just gently lifting the hair, each section, just gently lifting it up and letting the hairspray just settle in between the curls. So I'm going to now ask Dee to throw her hair back. So you can now start to see, just with my hands, maybe even with a wide tooth comb, you can see the Chelsea blow dry. Maybe tiny bit, just as I said, a tiny. If you're ever going to use the oil, look, there's a tiny bit. You can use this on dry hair, so it's the tiniest amount. Rubbing it in like a hand cream and working it through. So this is taking any frizzy bits. It's also making the hair shine. You can see that I've managed to get the cuticles in the hair to lay flat, which is making the hair shine. And there you have the Chelsea blow dry. Join me, Richard Ward, for more secrets from my Chelsea salon.